Hello, hello, and welcome back. I know you were like, who is this girl? Where has she been? Well, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, but not too much on me because this year, this current year has been ridiculous. Man, not even ridiculous because of what's going on in the world, but ridiculous because of what's going on in my life. It has been test after test, trial after trial, and I'm just so amazed that I am here to be able to share with you what has been going on with me. Um, it's not been all great things. And some of the things I will be sharing, but some I will not. But I do want to share with you um, what I have been doing with my time. And one thing that you guys can be a part of. But this all started with me really trying to still navigate my way through life and just to figure out, you know, what to do. The one prayer that you always want to be careful of when you are ready to make moves in your life, when you are ready for change, you better be ready for the answer. Because if you mean it with your whole heart, change is going to come. It's going to come. And it did for me. So while I'm telling you what's been going on with me, you can see this smock on the table. So this smock that I'm making, it's very Toya. It's very a Toya project. And it's unnecessary, but I'm a little extra, as you can say, a little bougie even. So anyway, I've been in my house. I bought my house almost 4 years ago now. And I want to change some things. So, because, yeah, you should see how many times in a year I change my comforter. I get bored often. And a lot of the stuff that I have in my house is a carryover from my townhouse, my last townhouse that I had. So I want to, change some things and do a little DIY project, which, Lord help me if I don't destroy my house, but we're not going to do that. We're going to be positive about this. So that's what I'm doing. And I am going to take you along the ride with me. And we are going to get some stuff done. So I bought little doodads. And so I'm going to put this together because when I'm creating my projects, I'm going to want to wear this to protect myself and put my little tools in. So that's what I'm doing. So don't mind me. We're just talking. I don't know if you've ever been in this part of my house before, but this is my kitchen nook. I typically film upstairs in my office slash loft. So this is the first time you've been in my kitchen. So welcome. So behind me, you will see tea kettle. You got some mugs back here. And that is because tea is one of my favorite, if not my favorite drink to drink. Doesn't matter whether it is 95 degrees outside or 20 degrees outside. I will drink it year round. And it's something that I enjoy to do with my mom. She's a big tea drinker. She has to have her tea every single day too. Um, and I like to mix things up and, create fancy little teas and add peppermint or, caramel. Yes, caramel. Don't start. But lemon, even though I'm not supposed to have lemon because I think I'm allergic to citrus. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about that. But I will have tea every day. So it's very important to me to incorporate that into my decor. And I even have a nice little teapot over there, a little setup over there that I will show you in the picture, I guess, right here. But anyway, so let's get started with the smock. So, how y'all been doing? Because I know I've been through it. I have been through it. As you know, prayer is very important to me. And I feel it's necessary to be open and honest with God about your feelings and to ask for what you want. And many times when I feel stagnant in my life, and many times when I don't I don't know what to do. Like I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something, and it's important to me to do God's will. Um, but when I feel like I should be doing something and I'm not doing anything, I go to God to prayer and I ask for His guidance and I ask for direction and for Him to talk to me. And boy, is He talking to me. He's talking to me. But I love it. I love it. Some things are hard to hear because I feel as if God told me years ago what to do. And I haven't been following the instruction. I have not been doing what I promised him I would do years ago. I don't know if you guys remember me telling you the story about when I was laid off in 2016, um, some promises that I made to God. So I made a promise to God that when He brought me out of being laid off and back to a life of working, I should say. I wouldn't say normalcy because nothing about this life is normal. But when He brought me out of it, my trial, I was going to be a walking, talking testimony. I was going to spread the word about what He brought me through and how you too could get through what I got through, because I wasn't just dealing with being laid off. I was dealing with um, abandonment from people that I thought were my friends. I was dealing with a relationship that I had that was very much in the gutter. And, I made a promise to do certain things, um, and I failed. I did not keep those promises. Um, when I did reemerge, if you will, I did create a blog, and I was very consistent with it. I posted often, but then I let life get in the way. So over the years, I would still write, but the blog became something that was too much for me. I let work get in the way. I ended up going back to school and getting my master's. So school was very heavy. Then COVID was here, and the job that I had was ridiculous. So I was managing a lot of clinics, then going back and forth to Northern Virginia, helping, out there. And it just became a lot for me. So um, I ended up abandoning the website altogether. A lot of my work I still have saved on a thumb drive, but it all erased from the site because I stopped paying on it. So it's gone. I have since, of course, started a new site, but that's what happened. Some of you may remember a few videos back where I spoke about my inability to have children. During that video, I spoke about an encounter that I had with, I love Betty Boop. Betty Boop is everything to me. But I spoke about a young man that I met along the way a couple years ago. Really opened my eyes to something that I had never thought about. And I believe God placed him in my life for a reason. He said that maybe I was not placed here to have children. Maybe I was placed here because, of my gifts that I have, and that I'm supposed to do something greater than being a mother. And I had never heard that before. I had never thought about it in those terms before, but maybe he was right. And so I really took that time to think back and reflect on some things that went on in my life that fed into that notion that, maybe I am to do other things besides be a mom. Even though that, is one of my greatest wishes, and one of the greatest things that was on my heart at the time. So, I thought about what he said and, you know, thought back to, the time that I was fasting and praying. When I do that, I'm able to hear God more clearly. I would literally sit in front of the computer or at night be laying in my bed and get an idea. That's how I was being fed at the time. Getting ideas. God was feeding me ideas on how I can serve Him and what I could be doing to spread my testimony. But again, I failed because I did not follow through. I did not follow through with what He wanted me to do. So He was literally giving me the blueprint of what I was supposed to be doing with my life. And as these ideas would come to pass, I would write them down. And because I'm a big journal girl, so I would write them down and save them, and just take note. So fast forward to this year. Craziness this year. So I hadn't shared this with a lot of people, but the end of last year, I did get a new job, and it was great when it first started, but let's just say it's not what I thought it was going to be. And we're going to leave it at that. But because of this job that I'm not going to speak on, you know, I really wanted to go back to God and say, Lord, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Because if we're going to be honest, the jobs that I've had in the past have not been the greatest. Like, they've been good jobs. I've been fortunate to have good jobs. But as far as longevity and as far as me having success with like coworkers and all of that, it's not been great. It's not been great at all. I went back to God and I'm just like, Lord, why is it that I have not been able to have success? Why haven't I been able to just find a job, work a job like my parents did? Like I wouldn't want to be in a place for 30 years, but like, what is it about me that, what is going on? So I specifically heard these words. Latoya, that's my name. Let's not. Latoya, I told you what to do. Okay. And that's the truth. That is the truth. I've been instructed what to do years ago. But because of fear of failing, and remember, that is a fear of mine, a fear of failing, and because I didn't want to start something and not be able to finish it, like the blog. I never did what I was instructed to do. I made a move recently, which I'm not gonna share just yet what I did. I've had time to think. So recently, something was forced upon me that like I had no control over. And I had no choice but to face my fear. I was talking to someone that I work with. And we were talking and, you know, she was saying, you know, I was going over my employment history and telling her things that I do on the side, like my blog and my vlog and, you know, what I have a passion for. And she plainly said to me, she said, Latoya, she said, why aren't you doing this for yourself? Why are you taking jobs where you're doing this for other people? She said, you could very well do this on your own. And I said, I know. I said, I have, and I'm gonna try not to cry, but I said, I have a passion for being creative. I have a passion for putting stuff together and just being extra and, you know, coming up with ideas. And I went back to school for this. I went back for strategic communications. This is what I do. And she said, well, why don't you? Okay. Okay. So I had a decision to make. I could either continue down this path of jobs that were not really working out, or I could do what I was told and create something that would be mine and create something that God would have my back on, because he blessed me with this idea years ago and I did not follow through. But I had a decision to make and it was mine to make. And yeah. Scary. So I asked this lady, I had to get some Gorilla Glue because that, I don't know, that stuff was not working. So I asked a lady, of course it did. I asked a lady that I work with if she would take a meeting with me, because I work closely with an organization that this is not coming out. So, okay. Okay. I remember going to God and asking him to place people in my life that would open the door for me, that would show me like what direction to go into, how to approach certain situations, and just, you know, guiding me on this process. Because that's another thing that's been crazy, because I have had some people in my life that, well, not really in my life, but like associates that I've had that I've asked, I've either DM'd because they've been, they've had success with businesses of their own. And I wanted to, you know, get their take on what I need to do, and completely ignored my DM or my, like I had someone say, oh, I'll put you in touch with so-and-so, and that never happened. It's like, it's so crazy that it's just crazy how things work. But when I went to God in prayer and asked him to, you know, show me who I'm supposed to be talking to, and he did. I will have, I had 2 meetings with a lady from this last job that I have, and she's guiding me through the whole thing. What the crazy thing is, she is the one that said, you know, why aren't you doing this on your own? She is taking meetings with me and showing me what it is I need to do in order to create this business. And I'm like, and I just realized, what? Look at God. So, you know, this stuff is making my eyes burn. It is. It's time to put it away. We're done with that. But Yeah, this has been crazy. So, I had a decision to make. I had a decision to make. Um, and I pray for guidance in making this decision. Um, whether I was going to start this new adventure or let fear rule my life. So that's what I've been doing. I have been working towards creating my own space. All right, y'all. Here is the big reveal. Ooh. Oh, we can fix that. Yay. Success. Success. All right, so stay tuned for part 2 on what I'm going to be doing. See you soon. And remember, you were given this life because you are strong enough to live it. Bye for now.